India's missed semiconductor revolution. Friends, did you know India could have been the global leader in the field of semiconductor technology decades ago? Yes, it's unbelievable, but it's true. In the year 1987, we were just 2 years behind in the world in semiconductor chip technology. Today, we are 12 generations behind. Let's drill down and understand the reasons. Back in the year 1960, when the semiconductor revolution was just beginning, Fairchild Semiconductor offered to set fabs in India. But what happened? As our old good bureaucracy, as usual, delayed the decisions, and the Congress-led government was simply not interested and grossly underestimated the power of semiconductor technology. And Fairchild moved to Malaysia. History could have been different had Fairchild stayed in India. After the 1962 war, Bharat Electronics Limited set up a fab for making semiconductor transistors. Demand was so huge that companies literally lined up to place orders. But soon, cheap chips from China, Taiwan, and South Korea flooded the market. Bell couldn't compete, and many fabs had to shut down. Did the government support Bell, which was a government undertaking? No. Probably the government wanted to help China as usual. In the year 1980, IISc professor A.R. Vasudev, along with Bell, launched Metchem Silicon Limited. They made solar cells and polycon wafers. This could have sparked electronic revolution in India. But without subsidized electricity, fab couldn't survive. Let's move to the year 2000. A big multinational tried to set up operations in southern India. They even built a class 100 clean room. But what did they face? Equipment stuck at port, heavy duties, and red tapeism. Instead of incentives, they got harassment. Finally, they packed up and went to China. Result, India lost not just fabs, but 4,000 high-tech jobs. In the year 2012, Manmohan Singh government announced 39,000 crore for fabs. Bids came in. Gujarat gave 300 acres of land near Gandhinagar, but again, investors pulled out. The project failed. Even the Fab City project near Hyderabad collapsed, and the land was converted into real estate hub. Meanwhile, what was China doing? China was offering subsidies, tax benefits, infrastructure, and attracting the world over companies. And today, eventually, China dominates the market, and we are still struggling. Experts warn every 10 years there is a fab cycle. If you miss one, we lose a decade. Look at Intel, stuck at 10 nm. TSMC took them with 7 nm, and now they are racing beyond 5 nm and 3 nm. This industry moves at lightning speed. Government support is crucial. The US gave TSMC $25 billion to set up in Arizona, an additional $52 billion under the CHIPS Act. Of power, and the government again was uninterested. Then came the 90s. Another visionary, E.S. Rajgopal from BHEL, tried to build the industry. But imagine this, their fab was just next to the railway line. Every time a train passed, vibrations disrupted the production. They worked at nights when trains weren't running. Talent wasn't an issue. We had it, neither we had the deficit in skilled manpowers. It was just the lack and in lack of it was just the lack of institutional support that was needed, and the project collapsed. And now the saddest story, the epical saga of how the government in power killed the successful entity which would have given us a definite edge in the digital revolution, the Semiconductor Complex Limited in Chandigarh. In the year 1984, it was producing 800 nm technology, cutting edge at that point in time. China and Taiwan hadn't even entered the game yet. But in the year 1989, a mysterious fire destroyed the entire complex. India's progress went behind by 10 years. For decades, it lay in ruins. The cause of fire, unknown. Investigated but never revealed. Was it intentional or was it a sabotage? Well, maybe. Later, ISRO reviewed it, but it was only for its own satellite. Even DRDO to build fabs, but they were limited to defense, small in scale, not commercially viable. And finally, India poked up. In December 2021, the government of India announced a 2.3 crore lakhs incentive plan to make India a global hub for electronics. And now multiple fabs are being set up in India. Investment worth lakhs of crores is flowing in. Within next 1 to 2 years, at least 6 fabs will be operational in India. Friends, this is the opportunity which India cannot afford to lose. For decades, negligence, sometimes deliberate, made us lose grounds to China. But now history gave us another chance. If we grab it, India can literally rise as a true semiconductor power. If we lose it again, we will be left behind by another generations. So the question is, will India make it the cheap leap or will we miss the bus again? I will stop here. If you like the video, please do share with your friends, subscribe the channels. Thank you.